When a space shuttle is going to the moon, 90 to 99% of the time, it's off course. But it's constantly recalibrating itself. This is good. It's constantly recalibrating itself to get back on track to go towards the moon because it has a target, it has a goal. And since it has a goal and it has a target that it's actually going towards, even though it finds itself off course, it gets back on course because it has a course.
Let's go, let's grow, let's get it.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Carlos V. Spencer Speaks here with another weekly Tuesday video. Today we're going to deal with a vision or a target. All right, what are you aiming at? There's a saying I've heard before, if you aim at nothing, you sure will hit it. All right, that means if you have no aim, if you're not aiming at something in particular, you're going to hit that. That means you're not going anywhere. There's another ancient African proverb that says, be careful of having no name. There's a danger in having no name, because when you have no name, then anybody can name you. And if anybody names you, then you'll answer to almost anything. That's also not like not having a vision. It's like not having a target. You don't know what you're going after. So I used to be a New York State trooper, New York State police officer. So when it comes to target, when it comes to hitting, we had to go to the driving range, the gun range. Twice a year, you got to qualify. So you can't just carry your gun. You got to be able to requalify. You have to go on this course and be trained. And while you're on this course, you have to get a certain score, right? In order to get this certain score, to be able to keep your gun, to be able to handle your gun and carry your gun on duty. If you didn't hit that score, you had to retest again. So I'm there one day, and on this particular day, the gun range is outside. We always train outside. It's raining, right? And usually you have a hat on and you have some goggles on, sometimes something to cover your eyes up. Well, this particular day, I did not bring my cap. So it's raining, and I don't wear glasses, but those of you who wear glasses, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. When you have glasses on in the rain, they start to fog up, right? You got glasses on in the rain, they get wet. And it's not like the cartoons where you got the windshield wiper on your glasses, right? Your glasses are constantly getting wet and you can't see. So you got to wear eye protection when you're at the gun range, because when you're shooting, the shells come out and they could pop back and hit you in the face while you're shooting. Mind you, while we're shooting, it's timed. So it's pretty intense, it's pretty fast, and you want to be as focused as you can. So I had my goggles on, is what they call it, your eyewear to protect my eyes, but I had no hat on. So picture me in the rain at this gun range, and they don't stop it because it's raining. You're outdoors, it's raining, and you still got a test. And so I'm going through this test, and it's at this particular time where I'm looking at the target way off. It's way far away from you, and you go a little bit closer as you go on. And I heard this saying that rang very loud in this moment. There's a saying that says something like this: it's hard to hit a target if you can't see it. See, it was hard to hit that target. It was foggy, it was wet, and it was hard for me to see the actual target. It's hard to hit a target if you can't see it, but it's impossible to hit a target if you don't have it, right? And more to the story, if you're wondering, I did pass the course, but I was wiping my glasses off of my arm with my hands while I'm shooting so I could be able to see this target. It's hard to hit a target if you can't see it. It's impossible to hit a target if you don't have it. So if you're thinking to yourself, like, where am I going in my life? Or you're thinking to yourself, I want to actually end up in this place somehow, some way. I want to be rich. I want to be famous. I want to be powerful. I want to be strong. I want to be smart. I want to be intelligent. I want to have this type of job. I want to have this type of relationship. And it's real vague. Well, it's hard to hit a target if you can't see it. It's impossible to hit a target if you don't have it. You have to establish a target. You have to establish something that you're focused on so that you can go towards it. I remember the saying, before man ever went to the moon. And I believe the question was asked, well, what is it going to take to get to the moon? And the response was the will to actually get there. I can sum that up by saying the same thing that I'm saying with the target. The will to get there, or having the goal to get to the moon. If my goal is to get to the moon, then one day I'll be able to get there because that's the goal. I've heard it often said, I believe it's true. You can look it up and find out for yourself, that when a space shuttle is going to the moon, 90 to 99% of the time, it's off course. but it's constantly recalibrating itself. This is good. It's constantly recalibrating itself to get back on track to go towards the moon because it has a target, it has a goal. And since it has a goal and it has a target that it's actually going towards, even though it finds itself off course, it gets back on course because it has a course. Here's another saying. You take a boat that's called casting off, and you have no captain on that boat. And so therefore, since there's no captain or nobody driving the boat has no direction. The boat will never reach a destination, no matter where the boat is supposed to go, because it doesn't have a captain on the ship directing it. You take another boat, I'm going to take the same boat, and you put a captain on that ship, and that captain has a destination, and that captain is a captain who knows how to drive the ship 90 to 95% of the time, probably 99% of the time. That ship will reach its destination because it has somebody in the ship directing it to a specific goal, a specific target, a specific vision. And it's not that the ship will never go into anything. It's not that the ship won't face any struggles, that it won't go through any storms, but it'll keep making it through that because it has a target. Here's one of the most important things that a lot of people miss. A lot of people miss when you have a target and you do establish some type of vision or destination and you get off, that you beat yourself up. Someone talk to the person who may have a goal, you may have a vision, you may have something established, but you find yourself beating yourself up. Maybe it's the beginning of the year and maybe you're trying to lose weight. Maybe you're trying to hit a specific goal for your income and you're off. The goal is not to beat yourself up when you're off the goal. Watch this. The beauty of having a goal, a vision, a target is that when you're off, scratch that. When you're off, you'll be able to get yourself back on, because you know what back on looks like, because you've established something. But if you have no goal, no target, you're going after nothing, you never know when you're off because you have nothing to be on and going towards. So it's counterproductive to beat yourself up when you're off the goal or off the path and you beat yourself up and you never get back on. What does that look like? Let me give you a good example. I'm going to work out 3 times this week. You put that goal out. You miss one workout. You miss the second workout. I'm not going to do the third. That's counterproductive. The best way to do it in that example, I'm going to work out 3 times this week. And you missed the first workout. You know what? I missed the first workout. Watch this. It's small, but it's big at the same time. I missed the first workout. Let me get back on track to make sure I make the second workout because I established this goal. And then next week, let me make sure I'm getting back to it. Don't beat yourself up when you're off the path, when you're off the goal. Here's another thing. There's a scripture that says, where there is no vision, the people perish, which interpreted means where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. So when there's no vision for someone in their life, there's nothing restraining them. There's nothing keeping them focused or keeping them on the path when you have no vision. I worked at a detention center years ago, and we were actually taught restraints, a proper restraint, not to hurt anybody or hurt a child, but to restrain a child. Watch this. The only time we were taught to put on a restraint is when the child was in danger of hurting themselves, or when the child was in danger of hurting somebody else. You got to catch this. You put on a restraint when they were in danger of hurting themselves or hurting somebody else. Where there's no vision, the people perish. Where there's no vision, the people cast off restraint. When you have no vision, you have nothing restraining you. And when there's nothing restraining you, you're in danger of hurting somebody else, or you're in danger of hurting yourself. Establish a vision, establish a goal, establish something in your life that will keep you restrained to do that thing. When you establish a goal to lose weight, it restrains you from eating things that you shouldn't be eating because you have a goal to get somewhere. When you have a goal to reach a certain income level, you'll restrain yourself from binge watching television all night because you need to do something more productive with that time. So when you have have a vision or a goal, it restrains you. It's hard to hit a target if you can't see it. It's impossible to hit a target if you don't have it. If you do not establish some type of target, a vision, a goal, a plan for your life, you will never hit it or never stumble upon it. But if you establish it, let me say this, if you put it down, if you write it down, if you say, this is the goal, this is what I'm going after, watch this, you don't have to know all the steps to get there. Some of it you can't even figure out. I love when Steve Jobs said, you can never connect the dots moving forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. That means some stuff doesn't make sense while you're moving towards the goal. But when you look back, some of the stuff will make sense then. But if you establish that goal, that target, that vision, it'll restrain you to make sure you're going down that path to go towards it. Don't beat yourself up when you get off the path, because that's counterproductive. And when you establish that goal for yourself, you will hit it as long as you don't give up. Establish the goal, get the target, get the vision. You will hit it eventually if you have it. If you have no target, you sure will hit it. I'm carlosVspencer Speaks, here with another Tuesday video to make you better. Let's go, let's grow, let's get it.
Let's go, let's grow, let's grow, let's get it, let's get it.